Namaste, I'm Sophia, introducing you to the second part of the Divine Shakti within you. You have gone through the process of the 9 days, of which I'm sure you have managed to come face to face with your inner shadows and come into a place of acceptance that it is time to let go of all energies that do not add value to your life. The deciding factor is for you to be in a position to choose what it is that you want in your life. There are many ways in which life, like the way you take your cleansing bath, that you will also find that it is necessary not only to have a physical bath, but it is also necessary for you to have a spiritual one too. In the aspect, through the purification process and the invocation process, that in itself is powerful within itself to activate and to maintain the balance and alignment within your energy centers. Now, what exactly is it that we're talking about when we speak of the Divine Shakti within you? Shakti is known as an energy, it's a flow. It is what it is that maintains the balance and flow. Everything that you are about to come into a place of acceptance is allowing. When you allow yourself to accept the things that you find are too alien to you, is not because it's about religion. It has nothing to do with another form in which you are being prompted to worship. It is about you acknowledging the part of yourself that is the part of the whole of that which exists within you. In this aspect, understanding that Shakti as energy is also divine. If you come to accept that the divine aspect of your breath comes from a source that is divine, ever serving you, then there is nothing that is alien to you regarding the energy that you utilize within yourself. Every time you exert an action, you are utilizing energy, whether you're conscious of it or not. So, this is not about another form in the feminine that is being brought to your attention for you to actually worship. There is no adoration required here. There is an acknowledgement to understand that you are a part of the whole of that which you are moving towards, in search, in seek to learn, to know, to understand. That is the purpose that you find yourself being drawn to on the physical plane. Everyone wants to know what purpose they have. Purpose is doing everything that you're doing purposefully, as simply as breathing, as simply as pausing to listen to the heartbeat, as simply as being aware consciously of the energy that is flowing through you like the ebb and flow of the oceans. So is this another form that you're looking for to worship? No. This is not about being feminist, because you are feminine, so you cannot separate yourself from that which you already are. So let's look at the different aspects of where there has been only dominant of what we call divine being singled out and referred to as only masculine. Since we already know that the opposites cannot exist without each other, then we also know that if there is a god, the counterpart will be goddess. And in this aspect we come to understand that women do not create the need for them to be recognized as superior. Women are an equal balance to that which is within the Shakti that does not discriminate, because Shakti has no gender. Understand that, I will say it again, Shakti as an energy, just like the breath you drew in, is genderless. It is all that which is, exists in all of that which is within existence, from what is termed as the beginning, and that which will continue in every eternal now within all of humanity. So what exactly is this Shakti that is formed and called as the feminine? When you look at everything that is within creation, there is nothing that is negative about the energy that flows through you. There is nothing that is negative about the breath that you drew in, that beats your heart, maintains and sustains you on the physical plane. Understanding that the breath that all of humanity, including the animal kingdom, including the plant kingdom, including the male and female, let's just talk about the whole. There is no male breath, there is no feminine breath. There is no special way in which it is categorized in separation. It is just one. And that Shakti is giving it of itself to all the other selves outside of itself, tirelessly, ceaselessly, endlessly, impartially. So when we talk about the feminine Shakti, is to come to an understanding. Let me break it down very simplified. Our hormones are not singular, they're in pairs, the masculine and the feminine. Whether it is expressing itself through a male body or a female body, it does not separate itself as being either male or female. It just is that which it is in its purest form of being pure divine energy. So in this course, we're not going to single out and bring to anyone's attention that there is a particular one that is superior or one that is inferior. There is no such thing. In my personal experience, as I have said before, when working with the divine collective consciousness, it has been pure divine energy that has impartially imparted its wisdom in all asking of that which I have wanted to learn, to know, to understand, in order to easily become, achieve, attain, and accomplish my comfort in learning and acquiring knowledge. So, in this aspect, as much as we like to know that there is a tree of life, it has many branches. And like I've said before, just we have a CEO in an organization, we have different designated dignitaries that carry out certain aspects. Alright, this is not because it has been said so in the form that it has to be that way. It is because that's the way it is. We all can't be students, then there will be no teacher. And we all can't be teachers, then there will be no students. There has to be a balance that's drawn between, where the counterpart is on the receiving and giving end of itself, again, through all the other selves outside of itself. So, in the aspect of names, just like you have a name, and just like every star has a name, everything in life is named, then we have the energy aspects throughout all the cultures and traditions that also identify with a name that is given to the divine feminine Shakti throughout time, no less, no more than that which has been given to the masculine counterpart in what is termed as a god. In this aspect, we're going to look at how you can work with your innate divine energy, just as you've gone through the purification process, knowing that there is a name for every 7 energy center in your body. There is also that which is a governing divine flow, that which we would like to believe is one that is actually taking care of that which is your main physical body. And thus you have heard that your body is like a temple, and the worship is where you come in your asking, in your receiving, in your searching, in your looking for what it is that you need to learn, to know, to understand. Not that you don't, but they're reminders, because we do get consumed by so many things that we're experiencing in life. So when we look at the aspect of where we want outside help, that's why you do go into prayer. That's why you turn to the divine. Whichever one you will choose is not separate from the source. It is the source. It is just an extension of the source that you will prefer and feel comfortable with what resonates in what you feel is serving. Alright? So if you would have an issue with your let's say electric gadgets, you don't send it to a plumber, do you now? Same way, when you feel that it has been through time depicted that there is the energy that flows through life, let's just make it simple by saying, let's say there is the sun god and there is the goddess feminine, which is the moon. So this is what you have come onto the physical plane, and this is what you have learned, and in your learning you have chosen to believe it to be so. And in that process, it's not about what is right and what is wrong. In that, it is you feeling that you have an alternative option, not because you're helpless. It's because you know that the teacher is in that form. Whatever it is you want to learn about it, and you want to get respite from all your worldly concerns. I'm being very careful not to use the word worries. Your worldly concerns, from mundane to those that consume you, that you would turn no more or less, that if you know that there are doctors, and you will turn to every significant specified according to the area in which you seek your medical guidance and attention, then you would turn to that specific doctor. So the Shakti, being a tree of life, has many branches, and then we have sub branches like the twigs. Alright? And so with that, each one through time, depending on how you resonate with what is present in the area of divinity, in the area within the divine tree of life, then that is where you choose to place your belief into that. So is it right or wrong? Nothing in life is right or wrong. All in life either will be or will not be according to the resonation of an individual. So when we look at this aspect, we would like to bring to your attention that this is not about worship. This is not another religion. This is just merely reminding you to remember that you are connected to the whole aspect of that which is considered to be divine. So whether they are or not of your choosing, they exist, they always have, and will continue to, as long as there is a need for you to have a teacher, a master, a guide to bring to your attention what it is that you can learn without having to be tied down in a belief system that there is one way or the other which is more serving than the other. Alright, so with that said and done, I would like to bring to your attention mainly, purely on the energy that flows through all of the divine aspect within the feminine divine. This is known as the feminine for one reason only, that they cannot be one that will exist without the other, whether it is within the male aspect or the female aspect, which is the feminine and masculine aspect within humanity. When we speak of humans singled out, that is you and I and everyone put together. So when we speak of this feminine Shakti, the feminine Shakti has had its counterpart. When you've looked in the areas of the god, there will always be a goddess, and further to that, whether she is portrayed as having only to be a companion to the masculine aspect considered to be God, then she also has her role to play and impart within life. With this said, it is for you to use your own discernment as to where you will continue to choose to move towards that which you are choosing to learn, to know, to understand, in order for you to be and become all that which you choose to be, unlimited and unconditional by dogma, creed, or anything else that will impose conditionality and limitations upon you. In this aspect, there is a definite need for you to rekindle with the source. Again, that is your choice. The need to is when you find that just as you could turn to a teacher or a doctor or to seek expertise in any area of your life in terms of advice, be it legal or just casual, then humanity, as in the human species, humans have always had a need to worship, and there is nothing wrong with that. It is just that it is differing through the means in which one would use. Now, when I speak of this, I'm going to talk about myself, where I have had no need to go through rituals, and if you're comfortable with that, you're most welcome to do it. And I have had no need for me to actually feel that if I do something and I don't do something, that I'm going to be left unworthy and deserving of grace and blessings from the divine aspect. Because if you look at it from one point of view, from the way I've learned it from the source, the divine feminine Shakti, is that it said to me once, "My child, whether you do or do not perform a ritual towards me, have you ceased to breathe?" And I have never heard truth amplify so loudly within me. And for that moment, I knew that it is our fears that bring us to a point within desperation and despair that we feel that we have to appease the divine feminine, whether as goddess or the masculine as God. In that moment we feel that maybe if we did this, it will please her. Maybe my prayers will be answered. Maybe I will be better. Maybe my troubles will ease. So, understanding when you sit for this class, it is in the unlimited and unconditional aspect. All else within your belief and choice is entirely yours to keep and believe in. We're not here to tell you that what you're doing is right or wrong. You will find it within yourself with time and through time to rise above fear that is limiting you in any way and subjecting you to feel that you need to appease the divine Shakti in order for you to be worthy and deserving of anything else that you're seeking to experience. In the aspect of the goddesses, all are extensions of the source, because there is not one singular. As you have heard, there are many oceans and stars within the skies and within the plains, and not one particular tree. There are many trees that bear different fruits, and yet they are all called trees. And every flowering aspect, that's called flower, and yet each individual flower from the flowering tree has a name. So let's look at what it is that one would be looking into when you start this course. When we speak of Shakti as an energy, I'm talking of it as the divine whole, the divine absolute that gives of itself to all the other selves impartially. Alright? So in this, Shakti is actually found within the Indian mythology. The goddess is also depicted as active and powerful and vital, an animating force of the universe. The masculine is the passive, inert, dormant force. Each Shakti within itself, is merged. It gives of itself, as I said before, and this way of wholeness lies in you understanding what it is first. Okay, so Shakti is divine, it's cosmic, is orgasmic, it's feminine, divine energy. So when you are going through your life and you have a diminishing of depletion in your physical body, as we had gone through the process of purification, that is also known as blockages. No more or different like you'd have your sink clogged or your car seized. We need to have an understanding between what is available to us to utilize and what it is that we choose, consciously or unconsciously, to overlook. Sometimes we may not know, but when you do know, then you will have to choose and decide on what is the best course of action that you want to apply. So in life, everything that life is driven by is by pure energy. Shakti, as it is abundant energy, available all the time to you as long as you're breathing. All you need to do is learn how to reconnect to it. This connection comes when you find that your life is overpowering and that outside influences, circumstances, situations, people and things are actually not working in your great favor, but against your greater good. And why I say contributing factors is because sometimes they may come from the outside in, and sometimes they're coming from the inside out. So what do you do, and how do you connect with this divine feminine Shakti, that which is termed as goddess? Okay, so what is goddess? Goddess is first woman, then goddess is a wife, goddess is mother, and her wisdom through experience, she is perceived as goddess. That's the fourth pillar. So let's go through it again. First, she's a woman. Second, she's a wife. Third, she's a mother. Fourth, she's goddess. These 4 pillars actually hold true to no more or less to what any physical woman will go through. The only difference is that woman does not see herself as goddess. Woman looks outward to goddess for help, for intervention, for guidance, just like you would to your mother and your mother to her mother. And finally, we look up to the elders. So, why do we do that? Because there is the need to have the wisdom of that which we are seeking, from whom we're seeking it from, because we believe they are in the knowing. If we turned it around, why do you believe that you are not in the knowing? Is it because you do not have enough faith in yourself? Is it because you do not believe that you're worthy and deserving of this divine Shakti? That it is actually not a form, that it is actually serving through you with no form? Because when you look at it, it is all the forms. How do you understand this? When you draw a deep breath, it is the energy, it is the Shakti, because it is what moves you, it is what actually maintains and sustains you on the physical plane, in everything that you choose to do, in every area of your life, whether you're joyous or not so, whether you're working from the minutest things. Everything that you put into action requires energy. So this divine breath, this divine Shakti, formless, yet given all forms, depicted in all forms, called by so many gracious, graceful, divine names, is ever serving in whichever way you're going to look out to it, up to it, or down to it. It's not going to cease serving you because it's impartial. With that understanding, we would like to bring to your attention that every aspect of your energy center is depicted by color. And so you know that your root base earth chakra is red. Your sacral chakra, which is water, is actually depicted as orange. And then we move on to your solar plexus. And then we move on to from the yellows to the greens and to the blues and to the violets and indigos and deeper blues, and then to a translucent white. So, if you know that to be true, it is because you believe it to be so. But have you seen any color within breath? Whatever you breathe in and breathe out has no color, at least not to your visible eye. So, when we speak of this aspect of the divine feminine Shakti class, it may shatter a lot of your beliefs, and you may sit there asking, but how? No, it is not meant to shatter your beliefs. Hold on to that which rings true to you, that which you choose to believe in, for all will be serving, irrespective of what you choose to believe. In the aspect of the Shakti, this is what the Shakti has always whispered, and I have heard it so clearly as we can hear the blow of the wind, even though we see it not. I am divine in all the ultimate of absolute truth, in how you will come to me in seek of that which you choose to learn, to know, to understand. In order for you to be, to become, to achieve, to attain, to accomplish, within all your choosing, grace and blessings, I will always render unto thee. From that which I am, I give forth unto thee, for it is vibration and frequency within the force that I give to all of life. In all that which is active of me, in the participation, I joyously give to you, even though you know not that I am with you. I fill thee with all the grace and blessings, that which fills your space. And yet, if you would ask for that which you would want of me to serve thee differently, that too I would grace before thee. I will from time be with thee, for this in truth I am. And when you discard of your physicality, I will take you in my bosom and embrace thee until thou wilt choose to move forth to experience yourself anew. I will forever be the one that will renew and recharge you, even if you ask it not of me, for I flow through your physical form even before you ask of me. So know and understand that even though you see me not, I am not separate from thee. Now this is what I have heard, whispered faintly, sweetly, gently to me. So in this aspect, there are no rituals. Life is to be lived. How you choose to live it will depend entirely upon you. But if you want different, change has to begin with you, because you must want that change. Only you can ask for what you differently want. So we will go through a small aspect of how it is that one works with this cosmic divine Shakti, Why we say cosmic? Because it is everywhere. It is beyond, because sky is not the limit. And it is beneath, because the core of the earth is not measured. It is endless in its flow. So in this aspect, there is more to this, the seven centers, unexplored and undiscovered. And that is what connects and flows from your crown all the way down to the core of the earth. So it has been said, we do not refer to our earth as Father Earth. We refer to our earth as Mother Nature. And she too has a big contribution within the play of life. And gratitude as well should go to her, because everything that we're here to learn, just like you would learn in a classroom, we learn on the physical plane. She is our teacher. She also has and is, first and foremost, the divine Shakti, because every breath you draw does not descend from you from the universe or unknown realms. It does flow from within the spheres of the physical plane that we call Earth. Everything that you eat, everything that you wear, all your needs, your desires are met. Every material aspect is actually from Earth. It doesn't fall from another universe or dimension. It is from here. So where do you think the divine Shakti is? The divine Shakti exists within you, because you are that which you seek. Wholesomely, you are the part of that part which you seek. And thus, the divine Shakti has also brought it to my attention. When you're down and out in despair and feeling separated and looking from the outside, where is it that she can be found? Ask yourself, which part of you is the part of that which you seek that you feel you're disconnected from? Because you drew breath, and that is her. That is energy. That is divine Shakti. Alright? So in this class, as we start, it is to bring to your attention that however you will find the comfort of your understanding within the aspect of that which is in the divine aspect, find within yourself to draw in the energy that's forever flowing within every aspect of your energy center known to you and that which is unknown to you. There are many, 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 many names that are attributed to the divine feminine and that which we define as goddess through the various cultures. So for me in this class, to touch on every one single one of them is going to take like many classes and many hours. So I will always update you with different classes that have to do with the different aspects of that which we call the divine feminine, in the aspect of the divine goddesses, from the different cultures, to those who will seek to learn to know, to understand them. I'm sure you already do, and you can always find them easily in different books from different cultures. Alright, so is there an aspect that we can turn to in the divine feminine Shakti to overcome the one shadow within us that creates us and that which in turn we recreate from our thoughts and our feelings and our actions. Yes, there is, and that is known as fear. Fear. Do we have a divine Shakti that is fear? It's a byproduct of that which you already know from the purification, that fear is not real. It is what you learned, and it is what you continue to hold on to. In the aspect, do we have a divine feminine that will, within her Shakti that flows through us, be there to help us overcome our fears? Yes. Does she have a name? Yes. By all the names known through different cultures, through different languages, and worshipped through different traditions? Yes. Am I going to single this out as being only a Hindu goddess class? I do not want to do that. But if you do look at it from the point of where we did say Shakti is actually from the Hindu aspect of what we know it to be, energy. Alright? So, what are you going to learn from this? To learn from this is to know that when you invoke on the aspect of any divine, whether it be masculine or feminine, and you will involve the divine feminine energy, that is going to actually be the one that's going to serve in your asking. So whilst invocation is actually a need for anyone who will ask, whether it be a prayer, whether it be a mantra, an affirmation, whether it be your rituals, it is what you're seeking, reaching out to. Okay? So in this, one would find that you are in a position, you place yourself as an act of appealing to a higher authority for help, no less like you would for legal representation. So whilst we're talking of the divine Shakti and invocation, okay, and the will at which you move yourself to act in subjecting yourself to surrender because you've given up on everything else. The struggle is too overwhelming. You can't deal with the situation on your own, and so you want help. So that's the only time you turn to the divine Shakti as feminine, as goddess. Alright, so then you do all the things that you feel you're supposed to do in order for you to actually get the help or receive the help you're looking for. So in this aspect, being receptive and being in acceptance, okay, and to be able to channel the divine Shakti feminine. When I say channel, it means that for you to add to your receptive awareness, that you're able to actually read the signs. That is no different from the angelic classes you have probably taken, or different classes that you know, whether it's working with crystals, whether it's working with angels or archangels, whether it's working with different readings or the divination, whatever it is, there is always going to be a receiving, whether it's a sign, whether it's just an innate deep feeling. All right, so how do you become more receptive for you to be able to understand how to interpret what it is that you are hearing, seeing, feeling, sensing? Because all your 5 senses, including touch and taste, all the 5 senses are actually moved by only one extra sense that people call the sixth sense. All right, so what is it? Within itself, what you drew in, this divine breath, this divine Shakti, is actually that. And without it, your five senses will not function. If breath ceases within your body, your five senses will not work. No more or less as when you do not have fuel in your car. Okay, so with that said, and getting to now how you are to be able to utilize and to use this divine feminine Shakti in all areas of your life. In all areas of your life, one would first have to understand what it is that you want. It's in the understanding and defining what is it that you want differently. Then you go with that, whether it's a mantra, whether it's a prayer, whether it's an invocation, whether it's an affirmation, whether it's a ritual, whatever it is that is suiting to you, then you move with that. Because it is what is serving you to be able to actually surrender yourself. All right? So can you hear the divine feminine Shakti? Yes, you can. How do you hear it? By being silent, still, and allow the solitude within you. Is there a specific way, or right way, or wrong way to do this? No, all ways are serving. What is it that you're comfortable with? There is no one particular technique that is going to get you to where you want to be. Only your pure intention to what it is you want to learn, to know, to understand, that will get you to being more receptive and aware and alert and a recipient to what it is that you are choosing to learn. In the aspect of, is there a right way or wrong way? Your doubt in the process, yes, that could interfere with you receiving the right frequency. You would. And having any of your energy centers blocked and having fear and doubt, because a lot of people want to actually activate and they have a fear. What if something else actually comes? I mean, do you breathe any other breath when you're in fear? See, all these beliefs can actually interfere with your process, whether you're going through the purification process, whether you're going through the activation process, and whether you're going through the process of wanting to channel and work with, or be a recipient to be able to work with. So that is a class that I give in person on a one-to-one, and will not subject you to actually start wandering off, taking your fear along. But there is a simple way in which you can do this. It's just choose to ask the divine feminine Shakti to help you in all areas of your life. In the stillness, where you choose to have your hearty talk with her, in your asking, what is it that you want help with in any area of your life? It is acceptable, because there's nothing texting. There is no fixation on whether you're going to be asking it right or wrong. Just talk to the Divine Feminine Shakti. Ask simple askings like, what is it that I am to learn, to know and understand? I'm asking you to help me to overcome my fear. I'm asking you to help me parent my children. Work. In workplaces, what is it that you find is difficult for you? When you apply the infinite divine feminine Shakti in all areas of your life, there is no right way or wrong way to ask, because your intention is what will connect you to that source of your asking in order to receive. Was this a very special class? You were anticipating that you were going to receive some magic words or magic mantras to actually be able to connect? No, you're already connected. You just have to buy your data. You know, when you have a SIM and you've not charged up for your talk time and you've not charged up for your internet, then you're not connected to your server. So how you get connected to the divine server? Eradicate your fear. And that is about everything you believe about the divine aspect. Is it partial, impartial? Is it harsh? Is there a worth, punishment, hell? Is there karmic debts, punishment again? You see, I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong. How deep-rooted and seated your fears are within your belief, you have to evaluate that and move to a place of validation. What resonates with your truth? At a time when you're ready and you have actually come to a place where you have let go of your fear, then you will find it is very easy for you to actually connect to the divine feminine Shakti. Is there anything ridiculous, too big, too small that you can ask for? Actually, that doesn't exist. Unlimitedly, unconditionally. Continue to ask. Ask it for anything and everything in every area of your life. Many people do actually not realize that they're asking even in their state of ecstasy in the bedroom. How? When you shout within the climax of your receiving. So you don't realize. So what is it consciously and unconsciously that you place yourself in a position that then it dawns on you, I can't ask for that, it's unworthy and undeserving, and it's what you want. So be comfortable with the breath that you draw and how it beats your heart and maintains and sustains the even flow of your circulation and generates your cells. Choose to believe that it is ever serving in every area of your life. There's nothing that it is not serving. Least but not least, you cannot misuse the divine Shakti. You can misuse it. You're using it unconsciously. Try using it consciously. Find a place comfortable, suiting, whatever it is you may want to do, whether it's over a cup of tea, find a moment that you can share with the divine feminine Shakti within you. Work with this as your imaginary friend, because it's easier to imagine anything that is working in your best interest for your highest good. How about the divine feminine Shakti is ever serving me? It is ever guiding me. It is ever healing me. It is ever protecting me. I feel safe. It works with me, through me, by me, for me, in my best interest for my highest good. And I'm asking of it that teach me. I'm ready now. That's what they mean when they say, when the student is ready, the master appears. The Shakti is always there with you. What is it that you have overlooked to ask? Not crying out of desperation about the problem, because you're busy asking about what you don't want and talking about what you don't want and thinking about what you don't want, and thus sowing the seeds of the harvest of what you don't want. How about saying that, okay, I'm here shopping. What do you think that I actually is working out for me? What do I need here? I have to, sign these forms. I have to work. I have to write this letter. I have to study. I have to drive such long distance. I have to climb the flight of stairs, in case I fall asleep, in case I haven't heard the baby. Have I forgotten anything? What are the things we worry most about? Where is it that we always feel we're going to fail? Whether it's in our relationships, in our work, in our lives, in our jobs, in our cooking, in our baking, in our dressing, in our appearances. What is it that we're constantly churning there? Where is it that you already know what you don't want? Why talk about it? How about changing it to what it is you do want? Talk about what it is you do want. Within the stillness and silence in your solitude, being in that presence of the divine Shakti, where you are seeking to learn, to know, to understand, in order for you to easily flow through life in any area, whether it's in your relationships and work, in your bedroom, with your children, with your books, with your studies, with your driving, where it is that you fear of you not being good enough, of you not being able to exhale, because you're always thinking that you're not good enough. How about I am worthy, I am deserving, I am blessed, I am graced. This divine feminine Shakti is giving of itself to me through the breath that I drew, and everything I ask of it, it is ever willing to help me see how I can move to the next step. Remember, your intention is the only data or talk time that is going to recharge and connect you to that which you believe you're disconnected from. That is it. What is your intention towards yourself? And better still, what do you want changed in your life? Is it the hurdles, the delays, the obstacles? Maybe your luck, because people always go, either I'm very lucky or I'm not lucky. So where is it that you need to rephrase what it is that you're constantly putting out there? And so, if you haven't asked for it, you can say your prayers are not answered. And if you have asked for it, then you need to evaluate and validate your intention. Because for that pure flow, you need to flow with it purely. So with all said and done, that is the aspect of invocation, in understanding and knowing the greater part of the divine feminine Shakti is the whole ocean within the droplet that you are, ever giving of itself to the self that you are. You're not having to say, listen, you forgot to give me or deliver my breath today. It's giving, unceaselessly, impartially, not judging you, not condemning you, not limiting you. But what is it that you believe differently? That is what you have to think. Not too hard though. Don't think too hard. This is a little talk because I've asked the Divine Mother to channel, make it easier that they may be receptive, that whoever is to listen to this in every area of their life, guide them, help them, intervene, represent them in their asking. And this is when you open yourself to receiving and, unlimit yourself within the limitations in your beliefs. So it's simple. You want to do your rituals, involve her. Say, do this with me. Whatever it is you want to do, would you rather experience it or would you rather just read about it? Try it. It's not difficult. Yes, simple things. Read with me, write with me, dance with me. Where do you hold yourself back from expressing because you fear that you want to move forward and yet you hesitate because you're too busy being concerned about what the others are going to think of you? Even when you hear the word dance like no one's watching, you're worried, what if someone's watching? Ironic, isn't it? So reach deep within you, because it is within you. The flow goes within. And remember, ask of it. It's not only beating your heart and moving the ebb and flow of your circulation. It is ever present, are you? You want help? Turn to it as deserving and worthy. Hold yourself as the goddess feminine, because the goddess feminine is actually within you. The goddess feminine is actually flowing, awaiting for you to acknowledge, accept. That is all that which you are. I'm not saying this because I'm saying you're a goddess and you go out claiming I'm a goddess. No. Take your rightful place to learn, to understand who you are in that aspect, and seek the guidance within. May the peace and blessings of the infinite divine Shakti, which is ever present with you, continue to guide you, direct, heal and protect you. Cleanse, heal, balance and align your mental, emotional, physical and spiritual body. Take great joy in choosing to accept and to acknowledge that within every breath you draw, the divine feminine Shakti gives of itself to you. Open up your arms and embrace it in return. I'm Sophia, thanking you for participating in taking back yourself wholesomely, divinely. Namaste.